50,000 people are screaming your name. The sand beneath your feet is soaked in something warm and red. Your hands are shaking, your ribs are cracked, and a man twice your size is charging straight at you with a blade designed to open your stomach. You have about 2 seconds to react. If you move left, you might survive. If you freeze, it's over. Right here on this sand, in front of a crowd that will forget your name before they finish their wine. And the worst part? You didn't choose this. You didn't volunteer. You didn't walk into this arena because you wanted glory. You're here because 5 years ago a Roman soldier grabbed a 9-year-old boy by the neck and threw him into a cart. That boy was you. But let's go back to the beginning. You were born in a small village in Thrace, somewhere along the northern edge of the Roman Empire, around 80 AD. You don't remember your father's face. You remember his hands, cracked, sun-darkened, always gripping something, a plow, a rope, your mother's wrist when she tried to argue. Your family isn't poor by local standards. You have goats. You have a roof. But none of that matters because Rome doesn't care about your goats. You're 9 years old when the soldiers come. It's a border raid, not even a proper war, just Roman legionaries reminding your people who owns the dirt you walk on. Your village burns in under an hour. Your mother screams something you'll never fully remember, and then a hand grabs the back of your neck and throws you into a wooden cart with 6 other children. You don't cry. You're too confused to cry. The cart smells like damp wool and urine, and the boy next to you is holding his ear, trembling. That's the last time you see Thrace. The journey to Rome takes weeks. You're fed once a day, stale bread and water that tastes like rust. 2 of the children in the cart don't make it. One gets a fever and stops breathing somewhere in Macedonia. The other, a girl no older than 7, simply stops eating. No one moves their bodies for a full day. You learn to sleep next to silence. It won't be the last time. The slave market in Rome is louder than anything you've ever experienced. Men shout prices. Women are lined up like cattle. Children like you are grouped by size, not age. A man with a shaved head and oil on his skin walks past your group, stops, squeezes your arm, opens your mouth to check your teeth, and nods. He pays 700 sesterti for you. You don't know it yet, but this man just bought the rest of your life. His name is Gnaeus, and he runs a ludus, a gladiator training school near Capua. You are 10 years old, and your education in survival begins. The ludus is a stone-walled compound with a sand courtyard in the center. It smells like sweat, iron, and cheap olive oil. There are about 40 men here, most of them slaves like you, a few volunteers who came for the money or the glory. You're the youngest by at least 5 years. No one speaks to you for the first 3 days. On the 4th day, a doctor, the head trainer, a former gladiator himself, hands you a wooden sword that weighs twice as much as a real one and tells you to hit a post until he says stop. He doesn't say stop for 4 hours. Your palms blister, then crack open, then blister again over the raw skin. You learn your first lesson. Pain is not something that happens to you. Pain is where you live now. By 12, you've graduated from the post to sparring with other trainees. You learn the basic types. The Murmillo fights with a sword and a large rectangular shield. The Retiarius uses a net and a trident. The Thraex, your category, because of your Thracian blood, carries a curved blade called a seeker and a small square shield. The Romans think it's poetic. You fight in the style of your own conquered people for their amusement. Nobody asks if you find this funny. You eat barley porridge every single day, sometimes lentils, occasionally meat before a fight to build bulk. Your body changes. By 14, your shoulders are wider than most grown men's in your old village. Your forearms look like they belong to someone twice your age. But your eyes, the older gladiators tell you this, your eyes still look like a child's. That goes away eventually. Everything does. There is one man in the ludus who doesn't treat you like an animal. His name is Atticus, a Libyan, mid-30s, missing 2 fingers on his right hand. He's survived 26 fights, a number that borders on miraculous. At night, when the barracks go quiet, he teaches you things the doctor never will. How to read an opponent's breathing, how to make a larger man overcommit, how to fall in a way that looks final but isn't, so the crowd thinks you're finished and the other man drops his guard. The sand doesn't care who's stronger, he tells you once. It only cares who's still standing when the noise stops. You don't know it yet, but Atticus has maybe a year left. You'll be the one who finds him in the courtyard after his 29th fight, carried back on a stretcher, eyes open, still gripping his sword. Gone. You never speak his name again, but you fight with his voice in your head for the rest of your life. Your first real fight happens when you're 15. It's not in the Colosseum. That's for the stars. Yours is a provincial arena in Pompeii. a dusty oval that seats maybe 8,000. Your opponent is a Gaul, mid-20s, experienced. The crowd noise hits you like a physical wall when you step onto the sand. Your legs are shaking so badly you're sure everyone can see it. The Gaul charges. An instinct takes over. The fight lasts 4 minutes. You take a deep mark across your left forearm, but you find an opening and drive your seeker into his thigh. He drops. The editor, the man funding the games, gives the signal. Thumbs up. The Gaul is spared. You stand there, wounded on the sand, and 8,000 strangers cheer for you. Something chemical happens in your brain that you don't have the language to describe. It's not happiness. It's closer to being seen for the first time in your life. Years pass. You fight 11 more times across regional arenas. You win 9. You lose twice, but are spared. You're becoming too popular to put down. The crowd has a name for you now. You don't choose it. They do. Your scars multiply. A long one down your ribcage. A chunk of your left ear gone. A knee that aches when it rains and never fully straightens. You are 19 years old, and your body feels 40. Then the letter comes. Not to you. To Gnaeus. You've been selected to fight in Rome, in the Flavian amphitheater, the Colosseum. The night before, you can't sleep. You lie on the stone bench in your cell, staring at the ceiling, running your fingers over the handle of your seeker like a prayer. Around you, other fighters deal with the fear in their own ways. Some pray, some vomit. One man near the far wall is singing softly in a language you don't recognize. It might be a lullaby. You think about Thrace. You think about your mother's face, which you can no longer picture clearly. You think about Atticus. And then, without deciding to, you fall asleep. The first time you walk through the underground tunnels, the hypogum, beneath the arena floor, you feel something close to awe. It's a labyrinth. Caged animals growl in the darkness. Wooden elevators creak under the weight of scenery and props. The air is thick with animal dung and torch smoke and fear. Hundreds of men are down here, praying to gods in 6 different languages. A handler rubs your shoulders with oil and sand. Somewhere above you, 50,000 Romans are waiting. The trapdoor opens. Daylight floods in so fast it blinds you. You're lifted onto the arena floor, and the sound hits you. Not cheering, not yet. Just a low, rolling murmur, like the ocean if the ocean was hungry. The sand under your feet is freshly raked, but you can see faint dark stains from the morning's animal hunts. Someone didn't walk out of here. By tonight, that someone might be you. Your opponent is a mumeo, bigger than you, heavier, with a shield that could flatten your skull. The referee gives the signal. And then there is no crowd. There is no Rome. There is no empire. There is only the man in front of you and the simple, ancient arithmetic of survival. Stop him before he stops you. The fight lasts 7 minutes. He catches you with a shield bash that cracks something in your nose. Warmth pours down your mouth and chin. The crowd roars. They love drama, especially early. But you're faster. You duck under his next swing, slash the back of his calf, and when he buckles, you press your blade against his throat. The arena goes quiet for one breath. Then the emperor, Domitian himself, extends his fist. Thumb up. Your opponent is spared. But you are the victor in the Colosseum. 50,000 people scream your name. And for one impossible, blinding moment, a Thracian slave is the most important person in Rome. You fight in the Colosseum 6 more times over the next 3 years. You walk out of every match. Your name is scratched into tavern walls. Women send you letters. Free citizens buy clay figurines of your likeness. You are the property of another man, but strangers worship you. The contradiction never stops being strange. You're 24 now, ancient by Gladiator standards. Your knee barely works. 3 of your fingers on your left hand don't close all the way anymore. Every morning you wake up and mentally inventory what still functions. The list gets shorter every month. You've watched 14 men fall on the sand and never get up, some of them friends, or the closest thing to friends this life allows. You remember each of their faces. You remember the sounds they made. Then one afternoon, Gnaeus calls you into his quarters. There's a wooden sword on the table, not a training weapon, a rudis, the symbol of freedom. A wealthy patron has paid for your release. Impressed by your career, Gnaeus slides the rudis across the table toward you. You pick it up. It weighs almost nothing. You walk out of the ludus gate carrying everything you own, which is almost nothing. No family, no village, no trade except fighting. The sunlight outside feels different when no one owns you, but you can't explain how. You rent a room above a bakery in the Subura, Rome's poorest district. You eat when you remember to. Some nights you wake up gasping, reaching for a sword that isn't there, certain that you're back on the sand and someone is coming. The crowd noise lives in your skull like a second heartbeat. It never fully goes away. Some mornings you walk past the Colosseum on your way to buy bread. You hear the muffled roar from inside. A new fight, a new crowd, a new name. Your feet stop, your hands twitch, and for one shameful, honest moment, you miss it. Not the fear, not the pain, the feeling of 50,000 people knowing you exist. You're 31 when your heart gives out one night in that small room. No crowd, no sand, no emperor watching, just you and the quiet and the dark. Rome remembers you for maybe a generation. Then your name fades from the tavern walls. The Colosseum keeps filling. New slaves step onto new sand, and the arithmetic of survival starts all over again for someone else's entertainment.